Aloha family, this is your boy Gerald. It is the 18th of June 2023. How is everybody doing? First and foremost, I want to send a happy Father's Day to those that represent that title, either because of blood or because of the fact you know the importance of your contribution in that child's life. Preferably, if I had a hat, I would tip it because that is a job, that is a responsibility, that unfortunately does not get the proper acknowledgement in today's society. But just know it does not go unnoticed simply because the impact that you make on a child will not only be the stepping stones of their direction, but it will also have an impact on their legacy and those who come from it. So thank you. Let this day, as best you can, be restful, be peaceful, and exemplifying to the character and integrity you possess. Now, another thing that I want to throw out before I go into this video is the fact that you're going to notice that by how I talk, I kind of talk with a slight lisp, and that's because I have retainers. And I just started this journey actually on the 15th. And so I'm getting used to having these in my mouth. I'm excited because I look at it as an opportunity to only enhance who I am and invent and actually to invest in the vitality of myself. And I've always had issues with my teeth, and instead of allowing my vitality to do nothing and accept, I said I was going to try. So you're going to see in the future, these are through the Smile Club. There are various brands out there, but I will eventually do a video to show you exactly what I do in my daily regimen. But the end goal is it doesn't hurt, and you just do what's required. And they have an app for your phone that you just ask simple questions from your assigned orthodontist and follow the regimen. So I'm excited. They're saying anywhere from 6 to 8 months the process will take place, and all in due time. Now, with that being said, I've always been responsive in my messages when I always am able to allow music to stimulate the soul. So you may hear music in the background, and they are royalty free. I also I'm going to make a point that whatever is being played, that the creator is acknowledged, because you might want to hear it yourself. And I can tell you everything that will be heard through my channel. You can find it right there on YouTube Music, and it's royalty free. And there's a lot of good music out there. There's a lot of great creators that deserve to be acknowledged and supported. So please do so. This one artist, I've discovered his channel, and it goes by the name of Mets Music, TZ, like the New York Mets music. And he has a lot of royalty-free music. One of the genres of music that I've always enjoyed listening to was ambient and neo soul. So you're gonna hear a lot of that. I'm gonna play one of his selections and just let his channel just roll. But let's get to the meat of the video. So it's Father's Day, and I know for some folks that is a status that does not get the proper acknowledgement for the unconditional support and presence in a child's life. And being the fact that for myself as a father, I've been very blessed to be placed in situations where let me stop. I've been in relationships where there were children involved. Some my intent may have been great, but that just wasn't meant to be. And now, where I am in my life, I've been very blessed to actually be involved and watch the growth of a child unconditionally. And granted, a lot of times you see this gray hair, it was earned by being committed. Because, let's be honest, when it comes to relationships, especially from a male presence, a lot of times that is taken for granted, and it is overshadowed by the role of the mother. But just keep in mind, one of the greatest roles that a father should do is make the responsibility balanced, to be the voice of reason, to be the understanding, even if the relationship has run its natural course. But let's not negate one thing. As long as that child has air in its lungs, your responsibility will never end. Because see, what's at stake is not only the exposure and the identity of that child, but the legacy that will come through that child's existence. Who am I talking to? That is why the greatest gift that you can bestow on a child is transparency. Granted, yes, there is a time and place where certain conversations should be had. But if you truly value that child's life, it should always be with the intent of setting them up for success. And unfortunately, when works and efforts are not done, when efforts fall on deaf ears, that is what it equates to, is that child will have to figure it out on their own by placing themselves through undue, or shall I say, making unjust decisions that could have been prevented. Who am I talking to? See, in 2023, there is an emotional civil war between the male and female to enhance division and not stability amongst the two. And what's so ironic is that's like literally having the ability to separate the 46 chromosomes that makes you. Did you hear me? Can you imagine going through life with half your senses? But you had the ability to be given those if the right parties said, hey, by the way, you didn't know you could do this? You can do this, to empower them. But see, society, there's an underlying agenda going on. And that's to convince you that what you do not know is not needed. Only to realize through regret. Only to be shown through, I hate to say it, denial. The most precious gift that you could ever bestow other than your life is to have the right to be called parent and to mold and influence what was made perfect because it came from you. Now, granted, society wants you to take a position of less than is less responsibility. If it had value, I would take it with me. Or if it had importance, it would be personified. Hence, the investment would be continued. But the one thing that we can all agree upon is your life is never mastered. Your efforts are the building blocks of what makes your understanding. Who am I talking to? That is why, family, for those who are adults, it is your responsibility and your duty to free yourself from your pain. Why am I saying that? Why am I saying that, Gerald? Why is it my responsibility to free myself from my pain? Well, for a couple reasons. Number one, nobody can do it for you. Why did I say that? Because no one will truly understand how you interpret and how you embrace what you feel. Who am I talking to? You know how they say that saying, what's the point on getting on a bus that goes to nowhere? But it's better, what is it? There's better to get on a bus that goes to nowhere than to be standing somewhere with no understanding. That's not the case, because the price to get on a bus that goes nowhere is your time, is your safety, is your understanding. It's indirectly the representation of your character. Who am I talking to? Why am I saying that? How can you use the moniker or the position of calling yourself empowered or independent if you don't understand who you are? And if you don't understand who you are, how can you truthfully know what you need? How about the company you keep? See, we've gotten groomed socially that it's okay to point the fingers than take accountability. And I've been trying to figure this out for 20 plus years. You know, like hip hop icon group Farside had a song called Running. You could put all this investment in running away from your environment, but what does it give you when it all leads you back to the reflection in the mirror? You. So that's why I've always asked, how much is your smile worth? Because until you decide to see the weight and value of your smile, you will not fully understand the uniqueness of what separates you from them. Royalty-free music in the background. This artist's channel is called Mets, like New York Mets Music. Feel free to check out his body of work. But see, society is doing everything to mask what is needed. See, if you're spending more time in influx than rest, and you're nowhere near what is required for peace of mind, what does that represent? And what does that say for what the foundation you stand on? How about the people that make your circle? See, actor, R&B artist Tyrese Gibson put out a song many years ago called A Message to My Fan, Walk. I encourage that each and every one of you pull it up in your search engine up below. Put in Walk by Tyrese Gibson. Yeah, the one that's in Fast and Furious. That guy, him. The Coca-Cola commercial guy, yeah, him. Listen to that spoken word. And I guarantee you, it's going to do two things. Either you'll be able to relate, or it will make you feel insecure. Because everything he's talking about is about the benefit of being you. Not the associations you keep. Not the assets you possess. Not the genetics that are only time lapsed, because what you look like at 15 is not going to be what you look like when you're 25. See, you're going to come to understand, if you don't know, that all these things are superficial unless you invest within yourself first. That is why I coined the phrase, speak your truth, almost 12 years ago, because I was searching for who I am. The Adventures of a Boy Named Gerald. Trying to understand what is required to earn the right to be called a man. See, you're not a man because you bed down an inconspicuous female, or you lure them because of what you got, or the game you spill. No, no, no. That is all a derivative of who we attract by way of our character. Didn't understand that, right? You understand that? Let me run it back. We attract what we are. So it is very predicated to teach people how we wish to be treated. And we can't teach people how we wish to be treated if we don't have a relationship with ourselves first. That is why I tell you, queens and kings, and yes, I coined that too, and that's why there's so much pushback today. Like, who are you to call someone king and queen? Because first, you're born from a royal lineage called the Most High. Hello. You are God's jewels to the universe. And that is why I've always echoed through my walk, queens, if you don't have a relationship with the Most High first, He can never have a relationship with you. Hence, if you don't have a relationship first with the Most High, how is the man that you attract in your life, how are you able to follow their steps? Who am I talking to? Because, see, society wants you to take the road of the fool and base your ideology on things you can't take with you. But we can all agree you could have as much money that's found in a bank near you, and it will not have no weight to move the pain and despair found in your feelings. But see, they don't talk about that now, do they? They just want you to be still and be quiet, suck it up, and move on. But see, how can you function in an earthly realm that is 4D, soon to be 5D, if you don't understand you? Do you not see the value in you? And I've always said this, ain't nothing more disparaging to see a person lose their smile. And see, I can speak that because I too was a person such as that, because I lost my smile for almost 25 years. Couldn't understand why I was feeling the pain I was feeling. Why people was influencing the depression in my life when all I wanted to do was be a good man and a good person in my community. But through every heartbreak, every sorrow, every tear, a blessing would come out of that would bring me one step closer to myself. And granted, the beast we know is the devil. His work is never done, and his sole purpose is to kill, steal, and destroy. Because see, they already know your legacy the moment you take your first breath. Because see, you were what we call a spiritual being, a spiritual essence. And you made an agreement to come to this realm to fulfill certain requirements. And some, they do. And a lot fall short. Why? Because we have free will. And I say this because as long as you have free will, you can make a way. Why? Because the Most High makes a way when there is none. Who am I talking to? So if you are in a position in your life right now where you feel that everything around you is falling apart and not making any headway, there's constantly endless distractions going on, and you think you are at your wit's end, I'm here to tell you, be still. You make this point to go within yourself, and if you have yet to do this, do something that you hadn't had that relationship with Him. He's waiting on you. See, society wants to throw conspiracy theories out there to distract you of your life. And they want to blame things without taking accountability and ownership because they know one thing to be true, and that is free will. And I'm telling you, we know this to be true because everybody is given natural gifts and talents. And it is your responsibility to tap into those natural gifts and talents. But you can't do that until you're willing to find comfort in you. Now, granted, it's going to require you to do things you've never done before in your life, and that is to find comfort in your discomfort. Why am I saying find comfort in your discomfort? Because what's on the other side of your discomfort is your truth. And this is one of the reasons why I would always say in my videos, do you know who you are? Because if you knew who you were, you would see the value that every breath that you take is. No different than every tear that you shed. So don't worry about yesterday. Look forward for tomorrow. That's right. See, tomorrow is endless. But what is required is for you to take the responsibility for your direction by acknowledging what does not work. Why am I saying acknowledge what does not work? Because see, what is being bestowed to you is the ability to have not only awareness of where you are today, but it is preparing you to take the steps for tomorrow. And to do that, you must first be transparent with yourself. Did you hear me? Who am I talking to? See, you got that same energy to pick the phone up and curse them out about something that didn't work out. But truthfully, you knew it wasn't going to work out anyway because it wasn't the representation for you. Who am I talking to? You know how we say the math is not mathing? Well, that's what the millennials say that is. See, it doesn't matter how many times you flip-flop it in your mind until you're willing to acknowledge what has taken place. Can you find forgiveness and freedom within yourself? And with that, you can't put a price on it. You can't put a price on that, family. So I'm here to tell you, don't give up. Don't give up on your direction. If you have dreams and aspirations, still, some of y'all are still holding on to the dreams and aspirations that you had when you were swinging on the swing. When you were riding down the street on your little bike with the training wheels, still having those amazing revelations. Those are responsibilities waiting for you to release to the world. But it will not happen until you make the decision to claim you first. Now, there's a difference now. Because, see, some people think when you focus on yourself, you're being selfish. But in actuality, what is going on, you are actually being selfless. Because, see, there's no such thing as superheroes. There's no such thing. And I say that because what will come from that will be a transformation not only in your whole environment, and I will say you have to first be prepared that you're going to lose a lot. But that is all about the great reset for your destiny. And I know some people like to romanticize destiny and fate, but actually what is at stake is spiritual legacy. Who am I talking to? So don't let society romanticize your dreams. Now's about investing in you. And you can't invest in you until you have a relationship with you from the inside out. Hence, that is why I've always spoken, speak your truth. Because two things are going to come from that revelation of finding comfort in your discomfort. One, those wounds that have yet to heal, they may have scabs on, emotional scabs on it, but that wound is still ever so present. The more and more that you're able to acknowledge, it takes the sting away. It reduces the power it has over you. It takes the energy away from the distractions that fuel your denial. I'll get it tomorrow. Maybe one day. No. Because see, nobody's promised tomorrow, family. Nobody. And for those who have been following my videos, you notice I've been on a different journey in my life as of late. I am redefining not only my legacy, but my identity to who I am. And I owe that to that little boy that's in me, because there's so much about me I have yet to learn that I have preyed upon. So give it to the Most High. Ask for clarity. Ask for temperance. Have patience with yourself. Just like you cannot discover a diamond in the same day. It takes pressure. It takes temperance to sift through the boulders of despair in your life. But when you do, you will tap into a sense of yourself unlike anything you know, and you will be able to find peace within yourself. Now, granted, I gotta be honest. The people that are not in your, and the people that are in your best, that have placement in your environment, if they're not of your best interest, be prepared to let them go, because they're going to be the ones that are going to cause or attempt to cause turmoil and distraction from you discovering you. And I say that because you can't buy that aspect of you. You can't manipulate that aspect from being defined by you. You cannot sexually manipulate that aspect of you to come out. This requires unconditional investment in you. So, just as I said a long time ago, there are many movies that have moved me as a man, and one of them was Diana Ross's Mahogany, and it was that debut song, Mahogany's theme, that has been ingrained in my soul, because the words that she sung have relevance then, when the movie was made, and nearly 40 years since, and will transcend through the future. Because if you listen to that song, go up to your inbox, the tool, search bar, and look up Mahogany's theme. Listen to the words, because she asks a question that not only is monumental and has relevance today, but it will speak to your soul. So you got to ask yourself this: are you tired of running from yourself? And if you're tired of running from yourself, what is required for you to find you? Only this is something you can know. But I will say this: if you're in your lifeline where you are called father, called mother, or a person of influence that has the ability to influence the younger generations, just ask yourself this. Would you want somebody to be the influence for you if you were able to turn back the hands of time? Excuse me. Because when you do realize that, you will also understand how priceless your life is. Unfortunately, nobody's promised tomorrow. So, see the value as the diamond. No two are the same, but once it's possessed, it is priceless, and you're worth it. Have a blessed Father's Day, blessed life. Love to hear from you. And if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to inbox me. I try to be punctual. And on the sidebar, excuse me, because my voice is, I got a dry voice. Excuse me. In regards to what I'm doing behind the scenes, in regards to everything that's been going on, I'm literally on the back end of solidifying my trademark. I got notification Thursday. So I had to do the last requirement from me. So now it's in the hands of the legal team that is issuing out my trademark. And then I can go forward and prepare the podcast or the vlog. And I'll be putting out content, excuse me, under Devil's Works Never Done. Somebody wants me to be quiet. And everything will be under that banner. And I'm excited because it's been over a year, but it takes over a year for your trademark to be official. And I know my investment. I look forward to my future and all the blessings that are going to come from it, because I'll be able to share it with you. And I look forward to interacting with you either through social media or, who knows, a face-to-face. So, enjoy this weekend. Juneteenth is Monday for those who celebrate Juneteenth. Please be safe. Please, if anything, make time for you, and don't hesitate to show the same for those that matter the most, your family. Because nobody's promised tomorrow. They're not. Excuse me. So I'm going to end this. So from Hawaii, aloha. God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth, and for that, it helps me discern mine. Because I'm worth it. And I'm no different than you, so you're worth it too. Be blessed.